Howdy, friends. This is the Magic City Motor Mouth, Fast Eddie Layne, with your invitation to join yours truly, along with Mark MaBo Bowman and the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, every Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 p.m. Pacific, for Beyond Ringside Live. Wrestling, mixed martial arts, sports talk, and a whole lot more. Keep your eyes open on BeyondRingside.com for all of upcoming show information, and of course, catch us on social media as well. Until then, we'll see you this Sunday, 6:30 Eastern, for Beyond Ringside Live on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
Welcome to the original Rockin' Wrestling Radio Show. Welcome to Beyond Ringside, your source for wrestling, MMA, and boxing in the Southeast. To contact the Ringside Roundtable of Beyond Ringside, email them at beyondringside@gmail.com. And now, your host for Beyond Ringside, the man, no myth, all legend, Fast Eddie Layne.
Thank you for calling Microsoft. How can we screw up your world today? Or at least try to. Yeah, you're screwed either way, aren't you, kids? Microsoft, Apple, all of the above. Give me Linux, I'll be happy on that. Greetings, live from Studio One on an upside-down Sunday and then some. Welcome into Beyond Ringside Live. Fast Eddie Layne right over here. Like to welcome in tag team partner, the one, the only, Mark MaBo Bowman. What's up, brother MaBo?
Breakfast is still sitting with me. Well, it was up until about 5 minutes before the show started, and then pretty much the form it went in is the form it came out.
Oh, God, as long as it wasn't an Egg McMuffin.
No. And the fact that it burns.
Okay.
Well, what I did, kids, was
you and the ghost powder again.
Hello?
You and the ghost powder again?
Well, no, I'm getting a little. Well, yeah, we don't want to talk about that.
No, we don't.
No, I got some hot ground sausage, and cut up some green bell pepper, threw that in there. Cooked that up. But previously, on Impact, I had also took a can of, because I hadn't had it in a while, corned beef hash. Cooked that up, put that in the bowl. Then did the hot sausage, which I dumped some chili powder, some paprika, some black pepper, a little bit of salt, not too much. With the green peppers, and cooked all that, and then dumped that in the bowl with the corned beef hash, and then had some rice, threw that in there, and then I took about a pack of shredded habanero pepper jack cheese and mixed that all in there.
God, you are nuts.
Yeah, I tell myself that. I don't know why I cook like I cook that stuff, because I know I'm going to regret it later.
Yeah, mildly.
No, mildly's not the word. Mildly seems to be the route I need to go.
Yeah, really.
So imagine this ball of.
I think I'd rather not.
Greasy meat and cheese going in and coming out the same way with the same amount of spice on both times.
Okay. First off, thank you to everyone. If you can hang through that, you can hang through the other 2 hours of this show, folks. Like, really, everybody listening into BeyondRingside.com, the Beyond Ringside radio app for Amazon, Android, and BlackBerry, through TuneIn Radio and their mobile app, as well as Ustream this afternoon. You really just screwed me up, because I was actually going to be sincere for a moment here. Woke up this morning, actually way early this morning, to all of the news alerts going off, and I would like to sit back and say, and there's only one word that I could use to describe, from my personal opinion, exactly what happened down in Orlando, and that word is atrocity. It's really kind of hard to fathom sometimes still that there is that kind of malice, animosity, hatred, regardless of where you're from. And, I am a weird one to say anything about that in particular, because I have no problem fighting for my beliefs, physically or otherwise. But by the same token, Wars are meant to be won and lost on the battlefield. They're not meant to be won and lost in neighborhoods. And what happened with that situation down in Orlando, and like I said, some call it a tragedy, some call it a horror, I call it an atrocity. There's a special place, and I'm sure that there are people who feel that that individual is probably of sound mind. Okay, he could be of sound mind all day long. I watched press conferences from the local, county, state, federal level, and there were some good things said, and there were some things that I just had to throw a television through the window. And I'm going to leave it at that. But on behalf of myself, and I feel I can speak for Mark, as well as the entire Beyond Ringside family of shows, to the families, the friends, the inner circles of those that were affected by this atrocity, our hearts go out to you, our thoughts, our prayers, and our hopes that you can find some semblance of peace in this horrific time. MaBo, anything you'd like to add?
I kind of said it in a friend's post earlier. And by the way, if you guys hear me suddenly drop the phone and run, I've actually got.
Kind of like he just did. We will come back on that one. MaBo, just let me know when you get back to the phone. First, yep, just lost the call. From that vantage point, going to be joined by, and I hope I pronounced this correctly, I'm going off a good friend of mine's pronunciation, Leah Hulan with Arcadian Wrestling, going to be joining us right around the top of the hour. And also there may be a very special surprise guest coming on board. And
Hey.
Yes, you're back.
I never left.
No,
the
you
system hung up on me.
No, it wasn't me.
Well, it wasn't me.
Okay, keep going.
Oh, anyway, no, I said it on a friend's post earlier. You know, it's doesn't matter if what a person, you know, believes, what their skin color is, what their sexual preference is, what their political, you know, affiliate is. To take a human life not in self-defense is irreprehensible and deplorable, and there should never be a justification for it. If you just outright kill somebody, especially because you don't believe what they believe, it's disgusting. I mean, I figured we had evolved as a society at least past that, but apparently humanity keeps letting me down on a daily basis. So, I mean, now people see why I stay trapped in my apartment with my guinea pigs. But yeah. So I mean, it sucks, and I'm really waiting for some, you know, brain dead, you know, backwards thinking idiot to sit there and go, well, they deserved it. How did they deserve it? What, because they have a different preference than you? I mean, okay. Well, you like college team A, I like college team B. Let me go shoot you up. Let me gun you down in the streets because you don't think the way I think. I mean, and even if you want to, you know, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of people, you know, well, they deserved it. Okay, well, what about any bystanders on the street who just happen to be walking by? What about that? Or, I mean, from personal experience, I know a lot of sorority chicks love to go see drag shows. So what about those girls? Are they, you know, because they're out having fun, they want to see a drag show, they deserve to die too? What about the guy or girl who's not gay, but say one of their best friends or close friends, what if they're gay and they're celebrating that person's birthday? Or they're even celebrating the fact that their friend decided to not be afraid to hide who they are. And so this straight person who is out supporting their friend, do they deserve to die? Now think about that and put that in place as if that was your own child. What if that was your own straight child out there supporting their friend, and they died because of that, let alone their friend and 51 other people, and then 50 other people injured. Don't even know if some of those people are going to make it. And then tell me that guy had a right and a reason.
There was
you know what?
there
if
was
you
no
can
reason.
still justify after all of that, I want you to go play in the heaviest traffic on the busiest day.
And we're going to make our move into more traditional topics in just a minute. I'm just going to sit back and say, and this is where I drew a little bit of heat earlier this morning, and I ended up blocking some people on social media. I'm not Republican. I'm not Democrat. I'm not conservative. I'm not liberal. I am an issue-oriented individual. I don't vote labels. I don't vote mascots. I don't vote symbols. I vote issues. I have voted Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, Green before. It just depends on the circumstance and who represents what I represent, who represents my belief system. I don't believe that this was the day for anyone, Anyone, to politicize this atrocity. You could have at least, to anyone and everyone from the bottom to the top, you could have waited 24 hours before mentioning your agenda. I'm not a gun nut. I'm a gun owner. I believe in self-defense. That is the only time that I'll pull it out unless I'm in a firing range shooting at a target where I've gone to pay to get in. I am one of those that is a law-abiding citizen and a gun owner. That is my right and my privilege at the same time. I get tired of hearing both sides, all sides of the aisle try to politicize an atrocity and a tragedy, and it gets old very quickly, plain and simple. So I will leave my final comment at that. Because when you have a situation where people have lost their damn lives, you should never use that to further a personal, professional, political agenda of any kind. It should be a time for genuine remorse and respect. And just some people just don't get that. But speaking of not just getting it, why do some companies feel the ultimate urge to change their website and make it that much more hard to or difficult to navigate? Yeah, I know we're taking a really radical turn here, and there's your R word for the day. I love it because WWE changed theirs, and I can't stand it. Impact changed theirs. I can't stand it either. And amazingly enough, for the first time in 6 years, I think, I'm just kidding. I know it hasn't been 6 years. It's probably been 60 years since TNA has actually, or Impact Wrestling has actually had a pay-per-view. Have they had one of those yet this year, MaBo?
I don't even know, dude. I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, I knew they had a live one coming up, and I didn't know it was today.
It is today. You reminded me.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know. Until literally, I was like, hey, wait a minute. I think TNA has a pay-per-view. And I looked down, and I was like, oh, look. There they have, because they commented on, the tragedy in Orlando, and they're like, but we're still having our pay-per-view.
I don't blame them. I don't blame them. I don't blame them in the least.
Well, I mean, there's some people, I'm sure there's people who would question whether it happened or not. So, but, and we need to, I'm sure you guys covered it on Wednesday night. Speaking of guns and wrestlers.
Speaking of stupidity.
I'm really hoping it's a work, and this person is gone. But anyway, So I just in discovering that there's discovering something that doesn't exist. Sorry, I finished it. The guinea pigs are watching Phineas and Ferb. They are. It's been on all day. They've been watching it all day. We've been sitting here we've been laying on the floor watching it all day.
It was on all day yesterday as I choke on a McDonald's French fry.
Yeah. For a show that's been canceled, it sure is on a lot.
Yeah, really. Well, it is summertime.
Yes. They've got 104 days. But, anyway, I happened upon a picture of Drew Galloway, the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, showing his belt. And if that is the TNA heavyweight title, it looks like a toy.
Yeah.
It really does. It looks like a toy. I'm not even going to lie. It's also, speaking of Galloway, some interesting stuff coming out of Evolve, where he and Ethan Carter III as well as Chris Hero now joining them. And from what they've said, Cody Rhodes, by the way, Cody Rhodes' opponent for the Evolve, he's going to be wrestling, is going to be Johnny Gargano. But they are sort of forming a, since Evolve has got that deal with the WWE and the World Cruiserweight Challenge, Cruiserweight Wrestling Championship, I don't know what it is. Anyway, they're sort of got this, we are higher than the WWE self-made, because we're self-made men kind of shtick going on. And I think it's kind of weird that it's two former WWE guys who are now at TNA, one former WWE developmental guy, and then soon to be one, I would say one of the headliners, upper card main eventers almost, that's going to allegedly be joining them. So there's some interesting things going on with Gabe Sapolsky down there in Evolve. But yeah, allegedly TNA is having a pay-per-view tonight, and matter of factly, their heavyweight title looks like a freaking toy. And we're also going to get a conclusion to the epic. I mean, we never really get a conclusion to this feud, but we're going to get a conclusion to the epic saga that is Matt and Jeff Hardy with Full Metal Mayhem. I mean, that cinematic masterpiece that they produced 2 weeks ago was amazing.
I'm still trying to eat. Leave me alone. Don't say that.
But then what EC3 did, he and Brodus and Spud and Eli Drake, that was pretty funny. But yeah, so it's going down. Chikara had a tightrope last night, which I didn't even think about it because I believe they were streaming it live on Chikaratopia. And if you act now, you can get a 7-day free trial. You get access to live streaming shows, and as well as their vast library of shows that is going on right now. So head over to ChikaraPro.com, click on the Chikaratopia, and sign up. Get your 7-day free trial. You can cancel anytime, but don't be stupid and cancel it. I mean, unless you have to. I mean, unless you're like me and you're really, 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 really broke, but you really, really, really love Chikara, then you can cancel it. But then as soon as you get money back in your pocket, sign back up. And then I don't know if they've wrapped up yet, but I believe Excellence is running Tick right now, and they had Flea. They had Flea Friday night.
Yeah, Flea was June 10th, and Tick is today. Bell time was actually 3 p.m. local time.
So that means 2 p.m. our time.
Are they in Eastern PA or Western PA? Because I think Western PA is in Central.
No, all of PA is Eastern.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. Let's put it this way. We talked to Babs. Babs is an hour ahead of us. That's how I base things.
There you go. And they still have, matter of fact, one open spot, depending, because I know that they've got to do some updates coming out of last night, as well as the card for this afternoon.
You talking about, wait, what do you mean?
Their championship tournament.
Oh, yeah, going in with the, getting ready to defend the 10 wins situation?
Yep. They have 3 at 10 wins, and they have 3 at 9 wins.
Yeah, but how many people are supposed to be in the tournament?
I thought it was supposed to be, well, I know that they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 listed. Hallowicked, Bora Moldova, Grand Akuma, Dan Champion, Smiley, Oleg, Icarus, Blind Rage, and Ken Broadway are the ones that are listed. Ken Broadway right now is far behind in 5 wins. Blind Rage with 7, Icarus 8, Oleg, Smiley, and Dan Champion at 9, Grand Akuma, Bor, and Hallowicked at 10. We should really get Babs on for this conversation.
I think she might be in the middle of a show right now.
That's very possible. No, near the end of it, because remember, bell time's 3 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock our time, and I don't know that many shows that are going to go 5 hours.
Yeah, but, when your owner is a cat,
That's true. They can be easily distracted.
Edgar doesn't have the opposable thumb, so Babs has to help him, count the gate and the merch and pay the talent. So
Okay.
it's kind of hard to do when you're a cat, especially if some of them have, cat allergy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I was going on their website and to see if they might have actually posted results, but considering the fact that I run websites for 3 different companies, it's kind of like difficult to post right then and there unless you've got a live connection.
Yeah. Because I was looking for last night's. I mean, I found Chikara's tightrope. Oh my God, Eddie, broke my freaking heart. Have we talked Chikara lately?
No, we have not.
Okay, we got a minute.
Yes, we do. We have 7 of them.
We got 7. All right. We all know when last we left Chikara. As we know, Hallowicked and Frightmare had become thralls of Naz Muldoon, thanks to Delirious and the IFT. Fast forward to the Challenge of the Immortals, and they started the Nightmare Warriors with Blind Rage, and they brought in Silverant. They tried to sway Silverant to be one of the warriors for Naz Muldoon, and that didn't really work out. Silverant went back to being a member of the colony, and that's a whole other kettle of fish coming up, because I think we're about to have colony overload, because Soldier's back. Then you still got Fire Ant, Silverant, Worker Ant number 2 still around, and they're starting to take in the abandoned Arctic Rescue Ant, because we all know Missile Assault Ant became Missile Assault Man, part of the Battleborn, and that's a whole other thing altogether. We're not even doing that. So, towards the end of, I think it was towards the beginning of this season, I don't know, that's why I'm watching Chikaratopia right now to find out what's going on, is Hallowicked and Frightmare kidnapped the injured and out-of-action Ultramantis and placed the IFT on him, and the next thing you know, he says, "Take me home." So some people are saying that he's under the control of Naz Muldoon. Some are saying that he's become possessed by Naz Muldoon. Here's the even more messed up part. The Batiri, during their UK tour, were brought in under the Ultramantis, put them under control. Oh, and Icarus at some point. I forgot to mention that. Icarus, the man who championed the return of Chikara.
Right.
The second ever grand champion. He was somehow pulled. Which, for those of you who know your history, Chikara history, there is a connection between Icarus and Hallowicked when they because first of all, they're Gen 1 Chikara people along with Ultramantis. Those two are two of the longest running guys in Chikara, and before he became Icarus, he was Ichabod Slain, and they were part of the Night Shift.
Right.
So they have that connection. But somehow Icarus was brought in under the thrall of Naz Muldoon. During the UK trip, the Batiri was brought in. And last night, and this broke my heart, Eddie, they got Cobalt.
No.
They got my sweet little goblin. He is now under the thrall of Naz Muldoon. And there's something going on. There's something is being set up, because I believe there's 6 or 7 pillars of Naz Muldoon and the destruction of the earth, and I don't know what's going on, but if Naz Muldoon's taking over Ultramantis Black, he's got already under his control, he's got Icarus, Hallowicked, and Frightmare. Not sure if Blind Rage is still in Chikara officially, but then you still have Blind Rage, as well as Cobalt, Oberian, and Kodama. So that would be 7 pillars right there. I don't know. It's getting crazy. It's getting crazy, and I'm scared, Eddie. I'm scared.
You have good reason to be.
I don't know what's going on. My holdout was Cobalt would save them, but not anymore. And they've also been dropping. They've been slowly revealing teams for King of Trios this year.
Really?
Yeah, one of them was Original Divas or something like that, and I want to say it's Mickey James, Victoria, and Jazz. I think the only teams that even announced have been females. Because they also announced a female contingent team from. So.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, with there were some great shows. Over the past weekend, just in the Philadelphia, Pennsylvania area. I mean, you had two excellence pros. You had two. You had a Chikara. You had
Grand Slam.
Yeah, you had Evolve. They had one or two. I don't know how many. If they filmed a bunch at once. So I don't know if anything going on in the South. Didn't Waddles McGee there? Waddles Sawyer there? Didn't he work a benefit show or something? Didn't he work a benefit show right now as well?
To my knowledge, he was working one yesterday in Mississippi.
Yeah, but I thought they were having one today too.
Missed that one.
Maybe it was just he posted today and the poster was free. I don't know, but yeah. So there's pro wrestling everywhere, kids. You don't have to wait for TNA to do their tri-monthly pay-per-view, and you don't have to sit there and wait for the inevitable burial of the club. Thanks to John Cena, because it's going to happen. Don't care what you say. Shut up.
Say that again?
The eventual burial of the club by John Cena.
Yeah, I'm waiting on that.
We all know the formula for when a new hot property comes in, gets the first victory over Cena, Cena barely squeaks out a victory in the second one, kills him in the third one, blah, 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 blah. Well, we all know the Cena formula. Ooh, did you get a chance to watch Takeover?
Saw most of it.
Oh, what'd you think from what you saw?
From what I saw of it, excellent. Now, legitimately, like I said, the Ty Dillinger match, excellent. Even in a losing effort, for this kid to come in and make his debut in that manner. And
are you talking about the former La
Cien.
Sombra?
Yeah, Cien Almas.
I'm not even going to begin. I just know his little nickname is Cien.
Cien Almas. Andrade Cien Almas. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I just call him the guy that used to be La Sombra.
Excellent match.
Oh yeah, I know, right? I mean, a lot of people are sleeping on Ty Dillinger, former Sean Spears.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody thinks Ty Dillinger just popped up. I mean, do your homework, kids. Sean Spears has been in and out of WWE developmental for years. I mean, almost the better part of a decade. And he actually made it at one point because they had too many. I think they already had like a Shawn Michaels and a Shawn Stasiak, so they called him Gavin Spears. He was on SmackDown, if I'm not mistaken. SmackDown or Heat CW, one of them.
Heat CW.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's great now that he finally found a shtick that that the fans can latch on to, because they love that 10 thing, man.
Mm-hmm.
I dig it.
Big time. Folks, tell you what, we are at the top of the hour. Going to go to the top of the hour break. Gee, was surprised. The top of the hour break at the top of the hour.
Shut up.
When Beyond Ringside returns, going to be joined by Leah Hulan from Arcadian Wrestling right here. Whether it be on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network or ProWrestlingRadio.net, this is Beyond Ringside Live.
This is Jim Cornette. You are locked into the show of all time, Beyond Ringside.
When planning your next party or special event, insist on the best. Full Range Entertainment is a professional entertainment company providing a full range of services. From professional disc jockeys and MCs to catering and photography, when the details of your special day must be perfect, call us first. Wedding receptions, corporate parties, school functions, birthday celebrations, and more. We also have Birmingham's largest selection of karaoke tracks available. With over 40 years combined experience, Full Range Entertainment
Entertainment can provide you with the talent and professionalism you need and deserve to make your next event one you'll never forget. For more information on the full range of services we offer, call 533-HITS. That's 533-HITS. Or check us out on our website at fullrangeentertainment.com.
Hello, everybody out there. This is Universal Soldier Phil Shatter, also TNA Gunner. 2 years in the making as NWA National Heavyweight Champion, making my way to the top as number one in the world. And you are locked in to Beyond Ringside.
This is Evan Ginsberg, associate producer of the movie The Wrestler, host of Legends Radio and Legends TV, and you're locked into Beyond Ringside.
Hi, I'm Leah, the Bond Girl, owner of Grumpy's Bail Bonds and Arcadian Wrestling, and you're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
On a topsy-turvy Sunday afternoon, slowly but surely making our way to a beautiful Sunday night. Welcome back into Beyond Ringside live from Studio One in a multiple location station. The trifecta of radio Sunday nights for BR does continue a little bit later this evening, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, corner to corner. The guys come alive, and we're going to have a little fun all the way through because a live version of the Midnight Black Mass, 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Central. So the Sunday night party continues right here on Beyond Ringside Sports Radio and ProWrestlingRadio.net. No, there is no post-production. We are live. Trust me on this one. Fast Eddie Layne live from Studio One. MaBo stepped away for a few minutes. Bowman will be rejoining in just a little while. And like to welcome in very special guest representing Arcadian Wrestling, Leah Hewlin. Welcome into Beyond Ringside. Glad to have you on board today.
Hey, glad to be here. Thank you, Eddie.
Now, before we get launched into everything going on, which you've got a lot going on with Arcadian right now, I want to ask about you personally. How did you get involved in pro wrestling, and where did the affinity for pro wrestling begin?
Well, I took a blow to the head, and next thing you know.
There you go.
No, just kidding. I sponsored wrestling for many years and enjoyed it very much, but I was very busy growing my bail bonding company, Grumpy's Bail Bonds, and I really didn't, I wasn't able to take advantage of the opportunity years ago like I am now. And I met Chase Stevens about, I think, 7 years ago, and I was sponsoring Saw Wrestling, and I re-met him in October when I was sponsoring, I think, USA Championship Wrestling.
Okay.
And just in talking with him and getting reacquainted, we realized that we shared a common vision in regards to wrestling promotions. So we collaborated and had a great idea and put the idea into motion, and that was around December, about maybe 6 months ago. And 6 months later, here we are, Arcadian Wrestling.
How much of a roller coaster ride has it been for you personally, getting to know the industry even more intimately as you go, as well as all the live events you've been doing?
Oh, my goodness. I feel like I need a clone because there's just not enough time in the day to do everything that I want to do and that I need to do. We have so many creative ideas that we want to do with Arcadian Wrestling, and I just need more time. But it has been quite a roller coaster ride, but it's all been good. I tell all my people that I'm used to working fast, and actually, just hang on because we are moving very fast.
Now, I've noticed through a little bit of homework, we have some mutual associates and colleagues. Of course, the natural Chase Stevens, of course, with Gangrel. You've also got good friends of the family, pro wrestling's best kept secret, Micah Taylor, the Island Girl Tracy Taylor, the King Shane Williams and Queen Taylor, the King of the South.
Yeah,
we've got a number of different shared colleagues on this one. I want to ask, now, in addition to some of the names that I just mentioned, the different stars you've had come through the door for Arcadian and the different personalities, for you personally, which ones just really have stood out so far?
Oh, my goodness. Well, let me first say, I've got to give a little credit where credit is due. Chase Stevens has been responsible for bringing together this absolutely amazing roster. You know, he's been wrestling professionally for almost 20 years and has these unbelievable relationships. And he knew when we started Arcadian Wrestling that he wanted to bring back maybe the 70s style wrestling, the 80s, where there was full contact, you know, action-packed, hard-hitting wrestling that fans and spectators believed in. So he went out and he found, you know, 20 of the best wrestling warriors he could, and females and males, and he put together, you know, our roster. And I have to say, to answer your question, I think each one of these wrestling warriors stand out individually on their own. Now, some of them I did not know, because he has brought together people from all over the United States, so they're not local. Chase lives here in Middle Tennessee, and there are a few maybe in Kentucky, but these are from all over the United States. So some I was not real familiar with. But as I have grown familiar with them, each one of their characters, their style, their persona in the ring and out of the ring is very engaging to me. And I think, in part, that's why I'm having so much fun.
Now, you run in a slightly different format than a lot of so-called traditional wrestling companies do, because the way that it was explained to me when the King of the Southeast, Francisco Chiazzo, came on Back to Basics a couple of weeks ago, he was making a reference to the fact that you run basically a 3 or 4 day series and treat it like a full season, right?
We are, and that's Chase's idea. And I tell you what, he cracked that whip, because it's not easy. It's not easy putting on 4 major productions, you know, back to back. You're advertising for 4 shows at the same time. Our ring crew, bless their hearts, they're setting up, you know, working the show, tearing down, going to the next venue 4 days in a row, and just the wrestlers themselves, because like I mentioned a few minutes ago, it is full contact wrestling. So they're taking lots of bumps and 4 days in a row. But that's what we're doing. We're really trying to grow our brand. And right now, we're just primarily in Middle Tennessee, because our major sponsor is Bail Bonds, which is another city that I own. And since Grumpy's Bail Bonds is footing the bill for everything, I right now just wanted to be in areas where Grumpy's does business. And Grumpy's does business, you know, all over Middle Tennessee. So just like all your listeners know, if any of you ever go to jail anywhere in Middle Tennessee, please call Grumpy's Bail Bonds. You ring, we spring.
Nice.
But back to wrestling, I had to get that plug in there. That's what we're doing right now, and we do have the vision of spreading out pretty quickly. And Chase has a vision of doing 16 shows a month. I'm not sure if I exactly share that vision yet. It's just because I'm a novice at this. I'm still figuring it out. I trust that he knows what he's doing, and so we're trying to make it happen. But, you know, part of it's just figuring it all out.
Okay. Now, some of the cities in which you run right now, I know that your upcoming tour is going to be Thursday, June 16th, Friday, June 17th, and Saturday, June 18th. You're running McMinnville, Tennessee, Springfield, Tennessee, as well as Gallatin, Tennessee. I hope I pronounced that one correctly.
You did.
And the previous month, there was a 4th city on there. Now, this week, go ahead.
Are you there, Eddie?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was I must have had a text come in on my phone, and I missed your question. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. There was the 4th city from the previous month. Or is this a 4th city that's kind of like a hub where on one month everything is clear? Because I know that booking a city, booking venues is a pain in the wazoo when you're trying to yeah, I guess I just said wazoo. When you're trying to build. Go ahead.
We did do 4. It was on Memorial weekend that we thought would be a good draw, and it was. I was happy with it. I think starting out, I'm happy with just putting on a really good show. We have the product. It's just getting the word out there to the people so that they can come enjoy it. And so we scaled back this month to 3 shows, just to see if we could, you know, concentrate a little bit more on our marketing for 3 shows instead of 4. And also, I'm still running my other company. You know, my Grumpy's Bail Bonds is a business that is very demanding of me, and sometimes I just don't have as much time as I would like. So we scaled back for 3 for now, but we will be doing 4 again soon.
Now, I have heard so many great things about Arcadian from so many different people to where I'm going to sit back and say the growth will happen with no hesitation whatsoever. It's all a building.
Yay.
It's all a building process. It's all one step at a time. Never rush too fast. Always take everything as it comes. It's kind of like Nick Fury said in the Avengers. You do the best you pray for the best and do the best you can with what you got to work with, and then take it one step from there.
Well, that makes me happy. You know, that makes me so happy that you hear all those positive things, and I hear it. You know, I had a couple of coaches in my office just this past week from Gallatin. They're football coaches, and they wanted me to sponsor. Well, they wanted Arcadian Wrestling to sponsor a golf tournament. So they came in, and they actually came to one of our shows. And one of the coaches had told me that he had been to a wrestling show before. It was an independent show, and that it was a good show, but he said he was ill prepared for the show that we put on. He said he thought it would be just like, you know, backyard wrestling. He said, when I went to the Civic Center and the lights and the scripting and the characters and just the wrestling itself, he said he was totally amazed. So when I hear people say things like that, you know, it makes me so happy. And I'm very optimistic also about our future. I just know that we need to learn to walk before we run, and I just want to build a really good, solid foundation with our ring crew to make sure that we can, you know, get set up and torn down and to 4 different venues in 4 days and make it all happen. The wrestlers do their part, you know, always. I'm not worried about them. It's some of the logistics of the business that I worry about.
Now, if I could, I know coming up on Friday in McMinnville, one match that's actually got my attention is a match that a lot of people have been looking forward to seeing, and that is actually a women's challenge match where you have the Island Girl Tracy Taylor taking on a individual who you've seen national television exposure through Impact Wrestling, and that would be Rebel. When you have Yes, when you have a women's match like that features 2 highly prominent individuals in the world of professional wrestling, much less the world of women's wrestling, don't segment it. It's there. It's pro wrestling. I don't want to label everything like that. When you have a highly touted match like that, what kind of smile crosses your face as a promoter?
Did you say what kind of smile crosses my face?
How big is that smile?
It is gargantuan, but not only is the smile gargantuan across my face, you ought to see the smiles across the faces of all the spectators, especially the gentlemen. I mean, they're amazing. I get to sit on a throne and watch the matches, because at Arcadian Wrestling we have a Greek mythological theme, and I sit on this handcrafted throne. It's very Game of Thrones-ish, and I get to watch the matches. So I really have the best seat in the house, and I get to watch the show from beginning to end and be a part of it. And I tell you what, I love watching women wrestle. It's very engaging, and I'm amazed at their performance. And I have to say that it has been very, very, very popular with the fans.
And on the 17th, I have to ask, considering what happened between the King of the Southeast, Francisco Chiazzo, and the King Shane Williams in the previous run during the month of May, knowing the fact that you've got them facing each other in Springfield, Tennessee on June 17th, how much more, considering they've both been responsible for the other developing minor concussions, and knowing how stubborn both Mr. Chiazzo and Mr. Williams are, you're going to have a situation where they are going to continue to push each other, much less themselves, to an absolute limit. So on the 17th, what can fans expect between King versus King?
I wish I knew. I mean, I know that's going to be a match you will not want to miss. But you know, I wish I knew. It's going to be. They're going to go at it. I've already been watching their Facebook posts, and I tell you, Francisco is going to give Shane a run for his money. Francisco and I had a little bit of problem. He's trying to sue me for his concussion that he had. He has sustained some injuries in the ring last time, and he's been putting out there that he's going to sue me. So I'm not real happy with him right now. We'll just have to see how that turns out.
And then, of course, on the 18th, it's all going to be capped off by a main event where you've got the natural Chase Stevens taking on Wes Briscoe, one-on-one in the main event for Gallatin, Tennessee. Now, coming into that match, I know two nights that both men are going to be going 90-0 heading into Saturday the 18th. But by the same token, how chaotic is that match going to be? Because you know Chase Stevens. I know Chase Stevens. Chase goes all out every time.
To say the least.
I've watched Wes Briscoe on national television as well as I've watched Chase Stevens on national television. And, I really have high hopes for. I go into it with no expectations, but I go into it with high hopes. From your perspective, what can we look for in this one?
I've never seen Wes Briscoe wrestle myself. I have not seen him. I've checked him out on Facebook, and I'm delighted that he's on our card. But just knowing Chase, I don't think he's going to hold anything back. We'll just have to see.
Now, coming up, once again, we've got 3 nights, great professional wrestling action lined up. Are the ticket prices for all 3 shows, where are we falling into as far as the numbers?
Well, we have a special Father's Day offer on, not Father's Day, for the whole weekend. If you buy tickets online, you can get general admission for $5, which is quite a treat because
Really?
The ticket prices for VIP are $25 if you buy at the door, and ringside $15 and general admission $10. So if you go online right now and you buy tickets for any of the 3 days, you can get general admission for $5.
Very nice, very cool. Now, I do have to ask also, I noticed on one of the posters that I saw that there is a VIP meet and greet. Is this for all 3 nights or just one of the nights?
It's for all 3 nights, where you get a chance to meet the wrestlers, have your picture taken, and of course, if you do have access to the meet and greet, that means you purchased a VIP ticket and you get a free AWA T-shirt with that.
Really?
Yes.
Very
and
nice.
It's a $20 T-shirt, so it's the best deal ever. And if you go to our website and look at the T-shirts, they're really amazing.
Now, how much are the VIP passes?
$25. Now, the poster may say $40, and that was a mistake. So even if you try to pay $40 at the door, we're not going to take your $40. You're going to get the VIP and a free T-shirt for $25.
And folks,
that darn intern. Darn intern making those mistakes.
And I will say this, folks, you're hearing it from the lady who is known as the goddess herself. So she makes the rules on that, so you can take her word on it.
Absolutely.
I have not seen a picture of you on that throne yet, but lo and behold, it's going to be okay. This is going to be one of those cases where you're going to hear DJ's remorse due to the fact that I unfortunately have engagements all 3 nights. I wish I could make it up there, but I definitely will make it up there sometime in the future. Now, let's take if I could, let me run these down for everybody. Thursday, June 16th, McMinnville, Tennessee. See, we do this live. I'm not going to edit anything out on that. I'll leave my mistakes in. I mess it up every once in a while, only when I'm awake. I wake up in 10 minutes. McMinnville, Tennessee, at the Civic Center, 500 Garfield Street. Once again, that the VIP meet and greets at 5 p.m., doors at 6, bell time 7 p.m. Friday, June 17th, the Springfield Center, 401 North Main Street in Springfield, Tennessee. Once again, VIP meet and greet 5 p.m., doors at 6, bell at 7. Gallatin, Tennessee, playing host to Arcadian Wrestling on Saturday, June 18th, the Gallatin Civic Center, 210 Albert Gallatin Avenue. Once again, VIP meet and greet 5, doors at 6, bell time 7. Now, people can get tickets directly through ArcadianWrestling.com, right? Are there any other sources?
That's it. At the door. And you can also, if you're local, you can come to any of Grumpy's Bell Bond's locations. We have 9 offices throughout Middle Tennessee, and you can buy tickets. But probably the easiest way would be, online or at the door. You can also, email us. A lot of people, want to buy their tickets online, but may not have access to do that online or a credit card. So they can also call us at it's 615-AWA-SHOW, That's 615-AWA-SHOW, and can call us with questions and can purchase tickets that way.
Okay. Now, I do have to ask, out of the matches that we've discussed so far, is there one in particular that's jumping right out at you that you're going to definitely be paying a lot of attention to?
Well, of course, that would be Chase Stevens and Wes Briscoe, but also I'm looking forward to seeing what Gangrel's going to do this time in the ring.
Now, I would also like to ask, and I'd be very remiss if I didn't, from that vantage point, champions on the horizon, are things in the process for this?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that, Eddie?
Yeah, championships. How are you? How is Arcadian building into championships down the road?
We are going to have pretty soon. I think in the upcoming months, we're having a huge competition, and we're gearing up for it. I don't know all the details. I'm thinking it's probably going to be August, and I think it's probably going to be at the National Fairgrounds. But the details are still being fine-tuned.
Okay. I would like to lay this offer on the table in public, if you will. Thank you to the late, great American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, for putting that one out there so I could steal it from him. Tribute. You have an open door. Anytime Arcadian's got an upcoming event or series of events coming up, love to find out about them. Please keep us in the loop. Let us know what's going on. And as you get closer to the championship series, when Arcadian gets ready to crown their champions, please definitely let us know. Love to try to get the word out there as much as we can for y'all.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Eddie.
Now, before we run, how can everybody track first Arcadian down?
Just through our website. We have ArcadianWrestling.com, and also through our Facebook page.
Okay.
Arcadian Wrestling Association.
And for yourself?
Leah. You can email me at leah@ArcadianWrestling.com, or on my phone number, and I'll give you my personal phone number, 615-815-9018. You know, being a bail bondsman, I take calls 24/7, and I welcome every single phone call.
And from that vantage point, I will ask you, of course, to do the shameless one for Grumpy's Bail Bonds. Lay it out there as much as you'd like to.
Thank you so much. You mean you want me to give a plug for Grumpy's?
Yeah.
Oh, well, all right. Let me think here. Although I hope it never happens to you, if you go to jail and need bail, call me. I'll set you free. I guarantee you'll be happy you call Grumpy's, because when you ring, we spring.
Ladies and that is perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, with Arcadian Wrestling, Leah Hewlin right here on Beyond Ringside. Folks, hang with us. Going to the bottom of the hour break. Beyond Ringside Live rolls on right after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, wrestling fans from around the world, I'm Lightning Mike Quackenbush, the master of 1,000 holds, and you're locked in for Beyond Ringside.
The To Be Determined show live Wednesday nights, 9 Central Standard Time. Join myself, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, the Grand Design, Clyde Braddock, and the Magic City Motor Fast Eddie Layne, as we take you to the edge of uncensored. Yes, we go uncensored, so make sure you have your earmuffs. Ask your parents, for those of you that are a little young, maybe under 18, but make sure if you have any heart conditions or any mental defects, please listen, because they may take effect right here live every Wednesday night, 9 Central Standard Time. Beyond Ringside Radio Network, BeyondRingside.com.
This is Merciless Ray Mercer, Olympic gold medalist and board member of Find the Dream, and you're locked into Beyond Ringside.
This is Danny Cage from the world famous Monster Factory, and you're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Sunday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern here on BeyondRingside.com. Join us for the Midnight Black Mass. Myself, the Reverend Dan Wilson, brings you the dark gospel of professional wrestling, uncensored, unedited, uncut, and not for the faint of heart. You can find out more about us at youtube.com/pottyhumor or subscribe at Potty Humor on iTunes and Stitcher today.
This is the Crowd Wrestler fan, the authority Dave Wills. It's the Robbie David. You believe me, you're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Howdy, friends. This is the Magic City Motormouth, Fast Eddie Layne, with your invitation to join yours truly, along with Mark MaBo Bowman and the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, every Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 p.m. Pacific, for Beyond Ringside Live. Wrestling, mixed martial arts, sports talk, and a whole lot more. Keep your eyes open on BeyondRingside.com for all of upcoming show information, and of course, catch us on social media as well. Until then, we'll see you this Sunday, 6:30 Eastern, for Beyond Ringside Live on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.